right.
Everybody.
Good evening, nerds, and welcome back to You Heard It From Us live on Twitch. I'm DNDWife.
And I'm DM Eguile, and tonight we're diving headfirst
Welcome,
into
gay
chaos,
lord.
carnage, and the comedy that was the Last Stand event on the Harvest Project Zomboid PvE server.
From crashing cars and PCs to heroic sacrifices and very questionable survival strategies, we've got stories to share and clips to break down. So if you were part of the mayhem or just want to relive the insanity, buckle in.
And speaking also of big news, we're also going to talk tonight about the huge Critical Role news, and with that, the addition of Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins to their creative powerhouse. What does that mean for the upcomingness of TTRPG communities? But we definitely have thoughts on this subject.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And hey, if you've got a clip from the Last Stand event and you want it featured tonight, send it in now. The inbox is still open, but not for long.
Hit me on Discord. Quick, gotta be quick though. So grab your snacks, hop into chat, and let's get into it. You're watching, you heard it from us, and we've got a lot to say tonight. So obviously, welcome everyone once again. We always appreciate you all being here, and every bit and every second you watch us is amazing.
Yep. Welcome, Gaylord. Thank you for saying hello.
It's awesome to have you guys here. Let me just get this open and up, a little better for us to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are coming off an exciting weekend for us.
Wow.
As we had been talking about it last week's episode, was the Last Stand happened for us on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. It was full of anticipation
On
last
Father's
week.
Day of all things, too, which was really hilarious.
And it definitely lived up to the hype for us. It was crazy fun.
Yeah, I wish I would have lived longer. I didn't make it, unfortunately. I
I'm
found
so
myself
sorry.
boxed in, and I will share in that video later, but right now I'm still, it's
It was so sad. But we'll get there.
as Gaylord says, at least you could play. I
That's
understand.
true. That's
but
true.
There's going to be next season, Gaylord, and we for sure are going to want you to be there and participate. And so, but we'll be sharing some clips tonight, so you'll be able to see kind of some of the shenanigans that went down. And we got a few from Boo Bam too, so it'll be a little interesting to see what all happened. But
I'm so excited.
we came into it pretty, I think, pretty strong, pretty prepared. But yeah, there was a lot of issues in the Last Stand event, especially for obviously for our first one, we didn't know what we were walking into, but yeah, I think we were over prepared and everyone else was a little under prepared.
Yeah, the disorganization was very apparent, and I feel like we could have really gotten a lot of people through with minimal casualties had we just not panicked as much, but we kind of let that run the show.
And I think honestly, so when we started, everyone kind of congregated, but I still think there was a lot of miscommunication. I mean, so we had players that didn't even really know what time the event started. So there was this understanding of, an hour before, but then when it was posted as 2 p.m., does that mean it starts at 2 and the event's at 3? Or was it the server opened at 1? Well, the server opened at 1.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is there were some players who weren't even ready yet, which was a little frustrating.
A little bit.
But they ended up getting teleported in the middle of everything. So it was we already had a little bit of the chunk in confusion. Which didn't help with any of our
Someone who's
chances
just
of
been
success.
force teleported from their base or something is not necessarily focused.
Right, and we just got up and ran too, and that was I think a big. And I saw a couple players kind of mention it in the Discord about how no one really stayed to talk or do anything. It was just kind of everyone shot off into different directions because there wasn't any coordination. On that point, though, we here at Agent and the agency with Director Booban, we tried umpteen times. I handed out to Boobam because he was trying to send out as much information to help these individuals, and it fell a little bit on deaf ears, and so it got kind of that little bit of frustration that comes from, when people go, oh, what do we do? And it's well, if you would have listened to what we said.
Or if you would have read the plans we sent the week prior.
Right, and so it really came down to kind of a crazy clusterfuck, because obviously we had one of the largest groupings in one of the time slots.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, there were even people who didn't understand how the Last Stand event even worked. They were still hoping to stay in their bases for a Last Stand event and to defend their bases. And so they didn't go and read in the Discord exactly, what the instructions were. And so the confusion was apparent throughout the entire server. Even the people who were there were a little unprepared.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. I mean, it was our first. Like
Yeah.
we came in. I mean, I was
We were
loaded
still
to
a
the
little
nines.
unprepared.
I still died. Like I didn't make it. Like
Yeah.
I'll be showing the clip later. I just don't have the heart to show it today. And if you're an agent, you've already seen it, so you kind of see how brutal it is. But it is that thing where it was just still a blast because at the end of the day, we're just having fun with it. It was our first. I was just really happy that you were successful and made it through because also being on the bunker team, you had a really unique experience.
Yeah, it was completely different from the assault teams, and so I'll be covering, my end of that and having to defend an entire side by yourself. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you were at the last stand and you're listening now, if you have any kind of anything you want to point out to, be sure to do it. Send them because it should have been me. I know. No worries, sir. In part of my little group, Orion did make it through, so it was good to see. I think it was just X and I, as our little posse, were the ones to fall. But that's no big deal, right? Like, that's part of the process. It was part of the fun. And again, I have a duo partner, so as long as my partner wins, theoretically we win. And so I was okay with that. But yeah, if you were in that last stand session, if you saw anything crazy you want to gripe about, please be sure to chime in because we definitely have a lot of gripes. I mean, I know for you, your biggest gripe was just the lack of work being done at the bunker.
Yeah, and I mean when the mods are saying this in the chat, because they stream on the event stage as well. Yeah. And so obviously after Eguile had been eliminated, he was watching and I didn't know this, right? Because I'm just on one side. The ISO is really hard to see past. And so I had no clue what was going on north side or west side. But apparently there were just people sitting around while myself and like one or two other people were dealing with hordes coming in from east and south. And we were just there kind of, peppering the hordes by ourselves.
Oh, yeah. And it was like the same thing out in the assault teams. Like we had people coming in and then like, obviously the goal is to find these passes. Yeah. They're shaped like Dragon Balls for safety's sake.
Extraction passes.
And so you grab them and we had people that instead of staying with their group would just get their own pass and just took off.
Yep.
Didn't say anything, didn't go, hey, I'm good. They just left. Yeah. And so it was like, oh, well, we were a bigger group. Now, okay, we're just going, right?
Right. And it's one thing if you say something because then people can be like, okay, we don't have to search here anymore. We can move on.
I know. You had a gripe with a player who didn't announce that they were leaving their station.
Oh yeah. We had a player.
We won't name names.
No names. But they left an entire side completely undefended, and a horde came through, and I'm saying the horde came through. Yeah. So, I think it's just part of like that panic also that takes hold in these high stress situations, where the common sense kind of goes out the window if you're not careful, and if you kind of aren't paying attention to every little detail, you can get yourself caught up in a situation where panic is really the only like reaction you can get at that point.
Oh, yeah. And I think, it really was, too, like, just the lack of community. And it was so funny because we formed a giant faction as a way to try to not have go. So, yeah, Gaylord, it was like 9K zombies. Yeah, it was, I think, 9.4. But in the grand scheme of things, that was relatively tiny percentage-wise because we had so many players compared to, I think, UK had the same thing of 9K, but only like 14 players total. So it's just the percentages were a little not the best on our side.
We had 32.
And I think that shows. I think that showed just how unorganized we were because we should have been able just to decimate with the sheer numbers, but because we didn't quite know what's going on. And it really just shows, right? And so, like, I think one of our thing was like, I didn't think the big faction worked. I don't know if that was the best thing on earth. We had a few instances where items were taken, like magazines.
Entire cars were stolen.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand we're in a faction, we're running together, especially when you get to the bunker side of it.
Sure.
But when you're out and like your vehicle has what you need and you just straight jack everything so that person who thinks they have ammo doesn't now.
Yeah.
That's a little tough.
Or food.
So I think that was something where, it didn't necessarily provide the greatest benefit on the map. And it really was because, like, no one really went together anyway. So it wasn't like anyone was like, oh, you're going to run into each other.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of scattered in different directions. Like, no one ever really touched anything together. And no one was communicating where they're going either.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we'd be better on our own next time. I mean, that's kind of what and I think the difference, though, is that we are a much larger faction.
Now.
So we have 10, 12, 15 members, no problem. If we were, say, 4 or 5 people, that would probably be, I mean, it's not impossible because obviously you only need 4 passes, but obviously the last stand aspect of it's going to be tough. I mean, but the passes, I think we were misrepresented a little bit, as the idea was that there were like stars and they would be different levels. I don't think I saw anything but a 1 star.
I don't think I saw anything else.
So here we think that, there's a chance to find it was about numbers. So I think if I would have known that, I think it would have also changed the way we searched.
Yeah. We might have gone to like different, more diverse places.
Because then it was about number, like the number in a location. It wasn't about, you're rolling the chance, so it could be 1 or 3. So I think that really changed up and was kind of a curveball. I give it to the mods because obviously you got to keep the changing so it's not basic and repetitive.
And people don't get bored.
I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next season because the Last Stand can definitely change. I think some of the agents had even said they're very much seeing it probably be not a bunker defense since this was the second one in a row. So I'm definitely down to see what's going on. I think for me, at the end of the day, like my 2 big takeaways from Last Stand is that, one, I think the biggest thing it showed me is that this game is freaking fun when a lot of us are all together.
Oh, yeah.
There was a little like dance party we had going on even with the mods and stuff. And when we get all of us together in a group, I think that was like awesome. And that was the most fun, with everyone kind of sharing stuff and talking. And to me, I think this is where we missed out on the hub aspect from previous seasons.
Yeah.
And I think this was kind of like a small taste for us for the hub. But the second part was just, holy crap, nobody knows what the hell they're doing half the time. And it's like, we all have hundreds of hours in this game, but the moment we try to mobilize, everyone acts like it's the first time they've installed Project Zomboid.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely hoping to kind of push more communication, but I think it needs to start sooner.
Yep.
And that was our problem, was trying to do in the last minute. And I think focusing more on just our group, the agency, and trying to have us be like maybe like a faction that does its own slot by itself and becomes like one of the first factions to do it solo.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
But
I think my biggest thing was just like, as much as I loved everyone being together, I royally hated everyone being together because it was like herding cats.
Oh my gosh, it was terrible. And when there are 32 people trying to all coordinate, that's going to get difficult for everyone to be heard, for everyone's like wants and needs to be taken care of. A lot of people were left by the wayside just because they didn't have a loud enough voice and they couldn't say anything fast enough.
So many of us were in our private discords.
Welcome, Babamica.
Director Boobam.
We miss you too, Director. We'll be back soon. The server restarts this Friday.
Yeah, we'll be definitely back and be live streaming a lot of that. And we will be dropping our full version of the actual Last Stand event and see a little combination of when I die and then when D&D continues on. But really, I mean, what would you say is probably like the most kind of takeaway, that like what was the good thing and what was the bad thing?
Bad thing was definitely, I think, the disproportionate amount of work for, at least I can only speak for the bunker defense, right? Because that's the only thing I did. But there were people not doing a damn thing while the rest of us were defending and running around, and there were clearly not enough to offset the people who weren't doing anything.
Welcome, Pollen.
Hi, Hydra. Thank you for joining us. We love you.
We're gonna get. We got some stuff. We got some stuff.
Yeah, there was too many people in the hub.
This is great.
But yeah, I didn't like the fact that there were people just not doing anything, and I don't believe those people should have been allowed inside the bunker. But that's just me, right? If you have an extraction pass, that's all you need.
Yeah.
But what I did love was just how affected people were by other players falling, sacrificing themselves for their teams. All of the heartfelt moments that came from Last Stand, where I didn't really expect it to hit me that emotionally hard. But there were times where I was crying because there were people who were lost that I thought shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
Oh, yep.
I know.
Sliz
When we
and
saw him
Franklin's
drop,
death.
and then it was he had one in the prison. It was like we debated whether or not we could go get him or not. Like, and it was like we can't get to the prison.
It wasn't.
We were gonna make it.
Yeah, we couldn't.
I didn't.
Yeah, right.
I didn't make it out of the distillery.
Yeah, so there were definitely some moments that I loved that were just so heart-wrenching, heartbreaking, and then also elevating a little bit, because there were some times where we saved people. We managed to get people in on time, and so that it was just really inspirational, I think. Yeah.
Right? Obviously, but don't take it to us. Some people have submitted some clips to us that we decided to show off tonight. So let us just switch on over.
Yep.
To our video stage. We're very fancy here. We like to have different types of stages here. Pollen Puffs, aka Hydra, says, I feel partially bad for his death because I had ran off to make sure Pico got a cure in him when he could have waited a hot minute.
Welcome, Pollen Puffs.
Yeah, I when that's he was tough. Saying, because me and him were having a little pity party and talking about
in the chat
as he was like, yeah, I looked behind me and nobody was there. I was like, dude, same thing. It's just the biggest, I think, curse is just as soon as you're out, man, those zombies know, and they're gonna freaking get you every time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So let's see. So yeah, so just to show how great of a story I was doing is that right in the beginning I decided to crash. So I think if Snoopy was here, this would be funny. But as we got here,
oh no, everything's going just fine, right? Whoa. Oh no.
Yeah. I honestly don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah,
oh no, he's completely upside down.
I just set it up so good to begin with.
Oh yeah. Oh, now you have to help him, right?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how we're gonna tow it, and I can't get the Humvee off at first.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, hang on. I can't. Someone's got to pull mine. Someone's got to pull mine out. I'm stuck.
Yeah, I know, director. It was not the smoothest move. I don't even know why I turned around. Honestly, I was so hyped.
Yeah,
I was so excited to get in there, and then I didn't want to dive in first.
And Gaylord says, and I say, "Boobam hit trees."
Yeah, I hit players. See, it's a little. I hit a moving target. Yeah. That's more difficult.
That's harder.
But yeah, we did manage to flip it over and get back on the road, but it definitely wasn't the best move that I thought I could do.
Yeah.
But one
at least
that
you managed it.
But I wasn't the only one in the assault team that was having the best, and this was given to us from Director Boobam.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Okay, so go.
Go.
Does anyone need a ride?
Where do we go? I need a ride.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know who's there, but
We haven't seen this one all the way through.
That's me. Do I enter your car?
yeah.
I need your help on these.
Go.
Or you walk.
No. Go.
Hurry up.
Oh, I can't get in. Hold on.
Keep running. Left. My shit.
Oh shit.
You're here.
Hold on. Left hand side. Left hand side.
This is so heart wrenching.
I don't know why we had that yellow car. It was just more of a death trap than anything
A
else.
little bit. It's too fast.
Car's
Wow,
red.
Oh, wait.
Just run. Just walk.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in.
There he is.
Oh,
Thank you
for this.
Okay, I was wondering why you guys went back out to the school.
Go.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I got 2 passes.
Oh. The car.
We need help. Okay, Snoopy. Okay, here.
Boobam says, I was trying to find the last Dragon Ball at school, but couldn't manage.
Where's traffic here? Where's traffic?
Oh, that's terrifying. All those cars vying for space on the road.
I know, because at this point I was just watching the buses. They never really followed much of the assault people. You guys were getting overrun.
Outer side, advance.
Oh my gosh.
Snoopy,
I'm good.
Pollen Puff says, I think my best decision was to take my Lambo, to be honest, because all the damage it received from running over zombies went to the trunk instead of the engine.
I didn't even think about that. That's like the only way that's super broken.
Yeah.
It's right backwards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not a good driver enough to drive this
No,
car.
I
feel like I
definitely
definitely
not. Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised they all went back.
Yeah, that was crazy. The only reason is because that car's armored.
See, now he's going in the wrong direction. He's damaging his engine.
Yeah.
I'm going the right way.
You want me to hop in the Humvee and help you?
Yeah, right? Yeah. I don't think Boo Bam realized that when he started doing that.
Yeah, it's built with the trunk in front and the engine in the
Thank God
back.
there's a Can I use the 556
The
here?
new
Yes,
Need for
yes.
Speed looks kind of strange.
Oh.
People would play it though.
He would. Gaylord says, man, the new Need for Speed looks kind of strange.
I needed that.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, he's finally
so
out.
X Advance was still with him at this point. He hadn't died yet.
Oh, man,
That's
okay,
interesting.
yeah.
'Cause I know he died before they got to the bunker. Well, I think the next one given would be good.
Yeah. This
Would
is
be-
what I was
this is the
talking
one that-
about.
yeah.
The ultimate sacrifice. Paul and Puff says Troobs was trying to do the backward donuts, and I was like, no. But this is also a no moment.
That's me.
Hydra. No, Hydra, please. I sound like a child, but I was so safe.
Because I was reading the chat.
Yeah. Because Hydra said, my team comes first. I gave my pass to Kalphus.
I'm seriously gonna cry right now.
Oh, I'm tearing up right now. Jesus.
Reliving the moments.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. R.I.P. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was good. I
Thank you
mean,
for
it was.
everything.
True leadership. Yep.
Yeah, everyone was giving the salute in chat. I remember even in the stage, the
Yep.
whole stage gave salutes down.
Yeah. You're a true leader,
It was
Hydra.
I mean, it was great cinema.
Oh, yeah.
Great cinema.
Perfect. Couldn't have clipped it better myself.
It's a great mark to end town, I think, at the end of the town story.
Right? She made sure as many people survived as she could.
Yep, here or there. Just, I mean, at the end of the day, apologizing that she can't make it in.
Yeah. yeah, right?
I was telling D&D the same thing. I'm like, we'll idolize her statue because at least we got one for the family.
Yep. Hydra says, listen, Kalphus is going to enjoy his memorial statue, and that's right. He's gonna be very happy with that.
This is what I love about this game.
Oh, yeah. So good. Everyone is so heartbroken right now. I mean, you can see it on my face. I look utterly devastated.
You were. And it was just waiting.
Yep.
They were like deciding her fate at that point. It was like, say goodbye and then summon a horde.
I think they were also trying to say, can you give us the cure you have on you? Like, can
Oh,
we
yeah.
get some help?
That
Because
was great.
she was trying to get us everything she had on her, and she's like, I
Look at
can't.
that. It's like at the end of the game, you're just throwing all your goods, all your things off over the board. You're like, just go. Ah, see, that's perfect.
Beautiful.
Definitely that one of the bigger highlights, I think, overall of the Last Stand event. especially
Definitely
in
my
our
favorite
time
moment.
slot.
Not because you died, obviously, but because it was so emotionally poignant.
I think the only better moment, and I wish we would have recorded it, I think we might have, we have to look through our footage,
we'll have
is
to-
Diaetes
Oh, yeah.
coming at the end. They had completely forgotten he existed.
Yeah, they
and
left
he's
him out
just
there?
on the outside of the bunker going, so do I just die now? Like, is this
No
what
extraction
happened?
pass for him?
And it was so funny because he was so late, no one cared anymore.
Yeah. Hydra says, I'm glad I could tell a good story. You did.
Oh, it was a great story, and definitely hats off to the group there. And just as a marker, there they are, our survivors that made it through. That was definitely awesome. I think, a lot was against us because as the mods had said a lot of times was, a lot of us were newbies. A lot of us were new groups, new factions, new players. And yet I think
This
we
was
still
our
did
first
pretty
season.
good. Yeah,
We
I
did.
mean, right. All of your people, Hydra, made it out, and you were proud, and you have every right to be proud because I think we
Super
all
proud.
did good because most of us were kind of laughed at and not expected to go very far compared to the other kind of established ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was your first for us too. So for us, this was our first season. We came in on day 5, and so we just kind of didn't know what we were going to get into, and we got hooked hard.
Yeah, there's no going back at this point, even if we tried playing Zomboid alone. I don't think we could.
But yeah, right.
Yeah. Thanks for thinking that. But yeah, this is our first season.
Yeah, no, we have just definitely enjoyed it, and we are definitely going to be back for season 9 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're definitely excited to see what'll happen down the road. I mean, I know the bus mod's going to change things up a little bit, and we're a little reluctant to see what happens, but keep an eye out for the agency next season. We're definitely coming out gunning for a lot of people to see kind of how we how we're going to handle it, and really what we can do when we start with all of us at day 1.
Yep. Thank you, director, for saying, please make sure to give Eguile and D&D a follow, though. Thank
We
you.
appreciate every bit of follows, because, you know, we're definitely planning on having these kind of, you know, server updates every week, and allow for people to come and give us clips, and we can share kind of the funness that comes out of the craziness that is the harvest. Yep, we're only one away from the 30 goal. Thank you, Hydra. I know. It's been awesome, and I definitely appreciate all you guys. We met all you guys in the craziest situation in a game, right? Like but I feel like we've made connections, we've bonded with all you guys, and it's so exciting to keep playing in the apocalypse with all of you, and I really hope that we see a lot of you next season. I know from what we've been kind of sneak-a-peeking, you know, it looks like there's going to be a lot of new factions coming into the next season, and a lot of people seem to be leaving some factions and moving on to their own.
There are definitely some shakeups.
Right, so I think that's going to be pretty awesome to see, because, you know, this is our first coming back after summer break, I guess, is a good way to look at it. And to see, you know,
the next school year,
whose parents moved and who's the new kid in school. But I'm definitely excited to let our new players get more of a chance to play and experience it, because I know, like Gaylord, I know you're itching to get a little bit more involved and get more time into the game. Same thing with Louis G out there. It's going to be great to have those guys come out,
so much fun,
and be able to have more of an experience with agency. And, you know, if we got 12 regular playing members now, what are we going to have next? 30 by the end of next season? We might be running an entire time slot ourselves one day,
all on our own.
Pollen Puff says, same, some of my people are breaking off on their own, moving to other factions. While I'm sad to lose them, I know they have great things ahead. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing, right? No matter what, we're not leaving the game. And it's kind of that interesting thing where it's like, if you move out of town, so like, I think a lot of people just are moving out of West Point. And so because we're moving out of West Point, and some people want to stay, go to different towns, it's just kind of changing the landscape. But it's going to be hilarious to see where everyone ends up in all the bases. And I'm really hoping they do some stuff with safe houses this next season to really make it spruced up.
Oh yeah, Gaylord says people would love me or hate me, but we love you, Gaylord. We really
love you,
do.
Gaylord. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, I think
Very
that's the
so.
biggest thing is, as she's saying, that it's gonna be weird not being in West Point, and I feel like West Point's gonna get kind of claimed by the Zeds this next season, since there's not gonna be many people living there. But it's definitely, I think, gonna drive us all over. And I know we at the agency are planning on trying to promote more community events and outreach, and try to build more, kind of like as you townies set up for us, a kind of a community center opened in different parts of the map.
You set a really good example.
Right, so we're really hoping to do that next season, and that way we can invite people over, and even if we can't be in the same, you know, zone, we can at least be in the same area.
Yeah, but in a more controlled fashion, so people don't steal our cooking pots and our books.
We learn from your others' mistakes, and
Very
we
much
definitely
so.
appreciate all the interactions we've had with you guys over the first, over the 8th season.
Yeah.
Hydra says, yes, same here. A few of us really want to make our town of our own with a casino event menu. Yeah, I think
That's cool.
that's kind of what we are also planning ourselves. So I think I'm really excited
Great
for
minds.
this next season. I know they haven't announced how long it's going to be, so I hope at least we get our 6 weeks, so that way we can all see how far we can go. But I'm definitely excited to check those out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about you, D&D.
I am so excited. I can't wait for the next season and all the new builds that we get to do and try out, and see what other fun stuff the mods have come up for us.
But yeah, but we definitely, you know, Last Stand was exciting, but it's definitely, we're looking forward to the next step in the next season and see kind of that thing. It's crazy how 6 weeks went by like that. Just so nuts.
Yep.
But we are currently taking a little bit of a break from Zomboid, but you can maybe catch D&D here playing on the test server.
Yeah,
as
the daily wipes.
She's getting her bearings straight as we get ready. But right now I'm kind of working in the background trying to get agency set up with Director Boo Bam.
Yep.
And so we'll be seeing more of that. But tune in next week as we will be talking about the opening of the season. Now that's going to be really exciting. So we're going to give kind of what's going on, probably give a kill count or a death count of how many times we've died, just to kind of give an idea of how crazy it's going to be. But we're definitely excited, and we'll probably have really crazy grins on the next episode because we'll be right into it as it starts on this coming Friday.
Yep. And Gaylord says, I guess I know where I will spend my nights, and that'll be on the project server. So that'll be awesome.
But also on the other side, we had a little bit of news we wanted to bring up for all of our D&D fans and everyone and friends of Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop gaming. There's a lot of big waves coming. And if you haven't heard or if you don't know, Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford, who were originally the main creative designs for Wizards of the Coast and D&D, have not only quit their old company, have now moved to Critical Role, aka I think Darrington Press, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's their specific company for where they're releasing like all their games and stuff and the books for them. So I'm super excited to see. I think they'll be given a lot more creative freedom, and I think that's why they've decided to make that move.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait to see what kind of crazy things they'll come up with.
Yeah, I think what this really is going to do, and that's what I'm really excited about, is the fact that this is going to, I think, change WotC's control over kind of a lot of the tabletop genre area. Right, so because they were trying to isolate and make everything now like micro purchases and all this other crap from D&D Beyond, when you took the creative brains that made the stories that everyone wants to play, I mean, freaking Crawford, it's either Crawford or Perkins. I think it's Perkins made Curse of Strahd. I mean, that is insane. So when you combine that with a dungeon master like like Matt Mercer, I can see this being that. Wow. Their new system they created, the new game that they've made, I think Daggerheart or whatever it's called, right? Yeah. That to me now is going to explode because there are going to be stories that come out. Right. We want to meet them in person. We've met some of the cast, and we're so close. We have photos with them. It's awesome, but Matt is still our goal, and we will find them.
Oh, welcome, Slim
Oh,
Puppy.
look at that. What's up?
Thank you so much.
And we got our
Yay,
goal.
Thank you
Guys. Thank
That's
you.
So cool.
I definitely appreciate it. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yay.
We
thank
definitely
you.
thank you guys so much. And that's awesome. That's why we love doing this. And that's why we love having you guys join us. And like I said, we're going to continue this on every Tuesday night at 7. We do this. We talk about Zomboid. We show clips.
All things nerdy.
Everything. So if you have anything coming up or any events, let us know too. We will let people know as well. This is not just a space for the agency. But when it comes to closing for D&D, I think we're just really going to have to wait and see. I think about it going to need at least a year of these guys churning out new content. But I think what's awesome is that anytime new companies are out and making more content, that's always going to be better for us, right? There's more stuff out there, more stuff to have, more stuff to play with. And I feel like the kind of licensing debacle that was 4 years ago has put such a stymie on new product.
A little bit.
So I was just excited. I remember I texted my entire D&D table. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome. We're going to be able to see so much coming out. I mean, I might have to learn Daggerheart because obviously some of this stuff's going to be built for that system, but it's definitely cool. But if you have any comments or any kind of speculation, come on down to our Travelers of Exchange Discord channel. That little section there, everything for Dungeons and Dragons. If you want to check out our roleplay thread, you can see what's going on. We have a current side story right now. All the posts are these special conversations and banquet speeches that you can listen in on that my players got to listen to a couple weekends ago.
Oh yeah. And Boobam says, you want to talk about the in-game podcast we're going to do?
Oh, so Boobam just hiding secrets now. Yes, so we are also trying to work with the mods of the Harvest server as they are trying to promote a radio package. We are going to probably also try to create a news program that will be airing inside the Zombie server or the Project Zomboid server radio system. So we'll do little snippets, little reports, hearing from different factions, whether it's little challenges, little digs, little happiness, but there will be little things that we can air, and the mods are going to try to air them like periodically, so it's not like you have to listen at a certain time. But this is definitely something that we are looking for that I think could be really fun. I think it was Foxbrain and Rakito and all them that were setting out, or no, it was
Happy Hippie.
Yeah, we're the ones trying to set it up. So I
Yeah.
think that could definitely be some fun. So you might be hearing our voices in the game if the mods like our proposal. So fingers crossed.
Right.
That'll be
Gaylord says-
definitely off.
Right, Gaylord says I would run as DJ. Finally, a true role for me. I know something would come to me.
Yeah, Hydra, I know we have been trying to talk to Fox, so I think that's going to be like our connection too, is talking to him about it too, because it's just more realism, more fun, and we thought it would be kind of a fun way to also allow factions to kind of send out messages. Really, my inspiration was I always loved Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and I actually remember buying all the discs that included the radios, and I just love those little snippets, little jokes, little commercials, and so we thought it'd be fun if we, as community, the agency, or other people want to come in and record little characters and little snippets. Join us. It's going to be fun. We definitely plan on doing a little bit more kind of cheeky stuff as the agency next season, so it's definitely going to be great.
Ooh,
Exactly. See, and that's our point. As Paul and Puff says, I might have to come and do an advertisement for town stuff, right?
Yeah.
Especially when we have stuff. How awesome would it be to hear about your player event in the radio in the game? It would also encourage us more to play the radios. I mean, who doesn't want music around? I mean, I thought it was kind of fun when we had a little bit of the music in the radio, or was it a nuclear winter?
Yeah, that was super fun.
It was cool. It was interesting, and I think that's going to be the extra bit of fun that we can see.
You never play the radios. Well, this will give you a chance to, as an excuse to. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah. And Boobam says the agency Discord will be open for the public the first day when the official server starts. So be on the lookout for that.
And that's going to be interesting because that is us opening up so that you can not only join the agency, but also take any opportunity to have us assist you, whether you need any kind of runs, knowledge, items, you let us know, we'll help you out. Got any kind of people giving you grief, we'll figure it out too.
We'll take
but
care
that's
of
definitely something we're going to have fun with next season. So if anyone has any other questions, please get them in now. As we like to, at this last point, I kind of give our last little hot takes as we go on to the end of season 9. And for me, I think my biggest hot take is that there wasn't enough role play this season.
Yeah.
I'm really going to be pushing next season to be a little bit more into when that voice, the voice in the game comes out. I want to be more of the character that I'm going to play this next season. I think that'll be a little bit more fun. Get a little bit more dug into the game itself. Really take in the agents kind of way. I think it's going to provide a little bit more fun. I see.
Right?
And I think it starts a trend if we all do it. Lieben is on board with me as well, as he is also going to be joining us in season 9, which will be fun to see him come back.
Gaylord and Rehax is going to be wild.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a blast. Any little last hot take for you, D&D wife?
People need to pull their own weight at Last Stand. I need to see you guys working hard just as much as we're working to keep everyone defended. 32 people went into Last Stand. Only 14 came out alive. We can do better than that.
Oh, okay.
We can do better than that.
You know, the next goal we always talked about was like get a full, complete, everyone in, everyone out.
Just once. I want everyone to live.
Oh, yeah. Only 14 made it out. Yeah, and yes, exactly. I have been talking with Mr. Lieben. He is excited to join, but he is definitely going to make his way out of West Point himself.
That's
so
right,
we'll definitely
Gaylord.
have to find out where he ends up.
That's also right, Gaylord. Manos a la obra. Let's get this done.
Nice. And thanks, Sloppy, for joining us in. It was definitely great to have you commiserate with me on the stage about being one of the first ones out. So it was definitely nice to have not be alone in that one. So thank you, sir.
Poor Slip.
But as always, that's us. If you have anything else, please come on down to the Couple of Nerds Discord or the agency Discord. There are now 2 you can come check out with various bits of information, tidbits, and knowledge that you can also check out.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're interested in Project Zomboid or if you're just looking for things nerdy.
Oh, yeah.
But that's going to be a wrap for tonight's episode of You Heard It From Us. Big thanks to everyone who joined us live and sent in clips. You made this Last Stand recap epic.
Oh, yeah. And whether you're still holed up in West Point, missing a few limbs, or went out in a blaze of glory or shame, your stories have made our community unforgettable.
And we're definitely keeping an eye on the Critical Role front. With Crawford and Perkins joining their team, the future of TTRPG storytelling is going to be very interesting.
And if you liked tonight's show, don't forget to follow us right here on Twitch. We made our 30 goal. Thank you so much, guys. We thought this would be months to get, too. But also make sure to leave a review on your favorite podcasting app. Take a look for us, Couple of Nerds Productions. And also, again, join our Discord. Keep this conversation going.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the good comments and everything. We really appreciate that you love the show. Until next time, stay nerdy, stay safe from the undead, and keep those dice rolling. Good
Goodbye,
night, nerds.
nerds.